Howdy gang. Okay, so today I am doing the contest entry for the Meganheartsmakeup Letter to Me challenge, you could say. This contest caught my eye because I have experienced a lot of things. I experienced a lot of things in high school. I graduated last year, so it's still kind of fresh in my mind and in um, just my whole experiences are kind of like fresh in my memory of the things that I went through in high school. And I know like it may not seem like it, but I had a lot of struggles in high school. And I think if I could write a letter to myself, there's so many things that I could tell you and to tell other girls about just some advice for things you'll go through. So I'll just kind of start off with the very beginning. So I was 15 when I was a freshman in high school, and my first year was kind of really new to me because I came from a Catholic school and went to public school, so it was a completely huge shock. And there was just it was just huge, and there was tons of people, and I wasn't wearing a uniform, so it was like this huge change, and it was really overwhelming for me just having like 8 really close friends to just going completely a whole new route. So I think one of the main first things that happened that I learned early on was about boys, duh. And this was interesting for me just because all throughout my middle school years, I was really awkward. I don't know if you guys can see very well, but I have freckles all over my face. And I actually used to get really made fun of through that. And I had a huge gap in the middle of my tooth right there. It was just the size of a quarter. Insane, right? And so I got made fun of a lot when I was a kid. And just I think one of the main things that really got to me was that guys didn't like me. And it was a really big deal for me, especially just because I never felt that kind of, I don't want to say popularity, that's not the right word, but just I didn't feel like they looked at me the way that I wanted to be looked at. And that was really a big hurt for me just because every girl wants a guy to look at her in a certain way, and it was really hard to just go through that phase. So when I was a freshman in high school, I got my braces off and I kind of just changed up my look a little, and there eventually came along this sophomore guy. And, um, he was trouble from the beginning. I didn't really know it at the time, but um, that's who I had my first kiss with. And I had my first kiss when I was a freshman in high school. And, it was really, I can't describe to you your first kiss. It's insane. But eventually what happened was he decided that he wanted to be with another girl, which, in high school, it's really, I mean, you'll learn this as you get older. Like, it's not a big deal if a guy goes off with another girl because he's not the right one then. He's not worth it, and eventually there's going to be someone out there that's going to be absolutely perfect for you. And so that really hurt when that happened. And it was my first kind of lesson in boys and in doing just getting hurt. And so I remember just listening to sad music and eating a lot of ice cream. And um, one of the lessons that I learned from that was just, you know, you don't really need to have, the sophomore guy or have to have a guy at a certain time. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, once you get to college, it's a bigger pond and there's so many more experiences and things to do. So don't fret it if the guy you like or, the older guy doesn't like you or goes for another guy because eventually the right person is going to come along. Which kind of leads me to my next vendetta in high school. Um, that same year, I got a boyfriend, my first boyfriend ever, and we went out for like 6 or 7 months into my sophomore year, and he absolutely broke my heart. He dumped me. It was one of those things, and that's another thing of advice. don't tell a guy you love them when, you think you do, you don't. Your first love is kind of like, you think it's the one guy and you want to be with him forever. And, it's not the case, usually. And, when a guy doesn't treat you right, which he didn't, um, that he's not going to be the one for you. And that, it's hard because I remember that entire sophomore year just being absolutely depressed and not wanting to do anything and getting into a lot of shenanigans, we'll say, just not finding my way and being absolutely heartbroken. And I want to tell people who have had this experience before that, eventually the heartache goes away. And it took me a year. It took me until I met my current boyfriend, who I'm still with, and it's been 3 years now, that, it's, I mean, it's really actually really hard to talk about, but you get through it, and life is, when you're in high school, it kind of seems like the end of the world when you lose someone that you think you love, but it's just the beginning, and you don't need to feel like it's your fault because it's not. It's not your fault at all. It's it's life. It's life. So that would be my advice in the boy category. And just moving on, kind of, one of the things that I really wish that I could tell myself in high school was to work hard in school, because I know my first 2 years I didn't care. I dawdled around. I didn't do anything school related. I didn't think it was cool at all to do homework and, do things pretty much everyone else was doing. But I think that's one of my biggest regrets from high school, and I wish that I could tell myself to put work into my studies and work really hard, because it was something that I wish I could take back, because I did get into college and I am at a 4-year school, but it's, I wish I would have worked harder to get to a school that I would have really enjoyed and really wanted to be at. And so, um, that would be a really big advice for girls, just because, it might not seem like it's the coolest thing to do, but, once you get into a great university, a 4-year university, you're going to have so much more fun, and you're going to feel like you accomplished something that was just life changing, and that feeling is just beyond belief the greatest feeling in the world. So working hard in school and just staying in class, and yeah. And then just kind of on the drama level, because I know all you girls out there go through drama, and I went through it as well. Um, a lot of the drama was in my first years of high school. A lot of the things in general that I'm going to tell you guys is in my first years of high school. But pretty much I have never had a really good girlfriend. And I've had girlfriends before, um, but none of them were true friends. Uh, I know there were times I had girls use me. I mean, Megan, if you are watching this, I have a similar trouble as you with the money situation. I'm sorry. And it's really hard. People think that they can take advantage of you because you have money and you have things that they don't have, and you shouldn't let them. And even if you don't, like, I'm just saying, you can't let people take advantage of you, because that's what I did. I let a group of girls take advantage of me, and I was at their hand and foot, and I just wanted to be cool, so I thought that this would be a good way. And then you gotta realize, if someone's not treating you right, it's not worth being friends with them. And I learned this through many experiences, that the true friends that you're gonna have don't make you feel like they don't hurt you, and they're honest with you, and I just, like, I can't harp enough just to not, if a friend makes you cry, then there, that's how I realized it, is this one girl, she made me cry all the time, and then I thought to myself one day, you know what? If someone's making you cry, then they're probably not a good friend. So I will tell you that it gets better, and you eventually find the friend that's going to be the girl, um, or a guy even, that you're going to be friends with your entire life. And I met one of my best friends my senior year of high school. So you don't have to meet them right away. I mean, and we're still, she's my best friend, and you don't have to meet the person that you're going to be best friends with right away. I mean, it can happen later on in life, and you don't need a million best friends. That's something I learned too. I felt like I had to have six best friends, you know, and I only have one, and I'm happy, and she's amazing, and you guys just need to learn, like, it's okay to not have, a bunch of girlfriends. One is good, one true best friend. And I'd say as a closing kind of note, um, just if in general, like if you're going through issues with your family, because I know I went through a lot of issues with my family. Um, you just have to get through it, and it gets really hard, and a lot of things can go on that will affect you at school and affect you in your entire life and the way you live it, but it gets easier, and everyone gets through it. And I know that times can be really hard, and it can seem like the whole world is crashing down on you. But I know in my heart that things happen for a reason, and it gets better. Life gets better, especially when you get to college. Because once you get out of high school, things get good. Things are good, and you're on your own and you're free. And I know I miss I miss my high school years, and they were so much fun for me. And um, I just think they're not the best years of your life, but they are really fun. And what I would say too, just as a little closing side note, is if your school has like spirit days or things like that, just get involved. Like even like I know I made a complete fool of myself half the time. I know one time it was, like cartoon day or something, and I came as Jane Jetson in a full on like purple dress outfit. Just completely embarrassing, but I thought it was really funny. So what I would say is just like, who cares what people think? You know? Just get out there and be yourself, goofy, quiet, and just, you know, be who you want to be, and don't try to be anyone else. So that's what I would have to say to you guys, and if I was to talk to myself in high school. So I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks. Bye.